let me see. Everything going well? I think everything should be going well. Yeah? Oh, shoots. That does that. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Okay. That works just fine. All right. Now I'm gonna do an intro. This is the different kind of vibe, different kind of stream. Different from what I usually do, at least. Oh, I forgot to do. I did everything else except for open the multi-chat. I did everything else but open the multi-chat. Literally everything else. But where's the music? Oh, there we go. I'm about to say. Funky music coming at ya. I played Plume and then normally I would just let the game music rock, but some of these songs in this game are copyright for whatever reason, even though most of them, a good majority, are not. But some songs are copyright, so I think I'm gonna let freedom ring, aka I'm just gonna use my stream music playlist, which has all the songs I like from this game anyway. So yeah. Fun fact, I actually do own the soundtrack for this game. Legally, of course. I paid for it because it's one of my favorite games, so yeah, I gave them my money for the soundtrack. Anyway, let me get the stream music on instead, so I can wrong one. Alright. Wrong. There we go. Alright. Let's go and set that up. Okay. Got that pulled up. Gonna head to the. I don't really have to turn the music down. I was gonna. Never mind. Yes, I do. I was gonna say I don't have to turn the music down in the set. Oh shit. In the settings, but then I thought about it. I do have to, because if I change maps, it's gonna come back on. I think, or is it gonna say pause? It doesn't matter. Let me make sure the stream music is stream musicing, because sometimes it doesn't cooperate, and it's not cooperating. Okay. Okay. That's lovely. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. That should be everything. There we go. How you doing, Yumi? What's up? It's evening at your place. It's actually morning time for me. What time is it actually? It should be 7 something. 7:30, 7:40, something like that. I'm not keeping track. I'm just, yeah. Yeah. But technically you're not wrong. Also, how you doing, Yumi? How's it going? I appreciate you for showing up. But technically you're not wrong though. I'm not cooperating with my sleep. My sleep schedule is centered around my stream schedule, which is I try to keep it consistent, but yeah, so basically I wake up to stream and I do things, and then yeah, so then I do the rest of the things, and then I stay up to do chicken things because I don't have faith that I'll actually be up to do it normally if I go to sleep. So then I go back to sleep after I do chicken things, but sometimes I end up staying like up even late longer. So yeah, my sleep schedule is kind of fucked, but it's I don't know what to tell you. I decided to do a quote-unquote morning stream. Why does that keep happening? Anyway, but yeah, so but don't worry about my sleep schedule too much. I'll be alright. I just like doing what I do when I do it. Oh, this seems too late. Yeah, technically I would have done this stream like 6 hours ago, but then I thought about it. Nah. So like, yeah, because I was gonna be up for those 6 hours anyway, but I don't know. I just went against that. This game's called Cyberfunk. Well, you just see it on the screen. Actually, no, you can't. I don't have the logo. Right, I'm doing things differently this time. It's called Bomber Cyberfunk. It's one of my favorite games. I usually don't play a lot of my favorite games on stream because, well, they don't really do well. And while I don't care for views and all that, it's kind of pointless if literally nobody shows up at all because they just don't care that this game exists, you know. And to a degree, I completely understand, but that does suck, you know. It's like this game is really precious to me. It's like literally the AllCity in my name comes from this game. But like, you know, that's just kind of one of those things. Is when it comes to the territory of being a real ass gamer, all right? Like just having, and I don't mean to belittle other people, but like just having such deep love for video games that the popularity means nothing to me. Like that is a part of who I am. I love video games, and I don't care if a game is popular or no one's ever heard of it. I love what I love because a good game is a good fucking game, even if nobody's ever heard of it. But as far as content creation goes, a lot of my favorite games that people have never heard of do not do good for content. Like the best I could do is kind of make these sort of wacky streams where it's just like unidentified video game and chill, I guess, you know. And maybe people might like it. I mean, I don't do this to make people like it, but that'd be a nice goal, to get people to notice new games that they've never heard before and actually, you know, lock in with some cool shit. I'm gonna play this. It's pretty fun. I would say this game's great. Now, I do want to say, I am playing it's on multiple consoles, by the way, or devices. You can play this on Switch. If you have a Switch, you can play this on, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's on console. It might be on Xbox. It's on PC. I play on PC, but I am playing modded. I would say the base game is a blast. It's super fucking fun. But I've played this game so much, and the modding scene is there's so many mods that I just really can't help myself. You know, when one of my favorite games has like really cool mods, I go crazy. Like for example, there's a lot of multiplayer stuff, mods and stuff that do super cool shit. Too bad it's not that many people playing this game, so regardless of how well made these multiplayer mods with their own custom game modes and shit nobody really, you know, like I gotta like find some sort of Discord group to play this game online. But like, if I'm honest with you, I'm not doing that. I don't really use Discord like that, and I'm not really a Discord gamer. You know, I don't really like finding my groups through Discord. Feels bad to me. But yeah, so yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, yeah, while this game is in fact a trick game where you just do tricks, and there's a story mode too, but that's for you to play on your own. I'm not gonna talk about that. I enjoyed it, but regardless, it's not a crazy in-depth story or anything that's gonna blow your fucking mind. Like, don't expect some sort of award-winning thing. And that's the thing. What I appreciate about this game is that the story, it gets you from A to B. It does things. It introduces you to things. It helps you learn the game if you need that. I didn't. I'm an elite gamer. But more importantly, it just gives you a grounds to stand on before you realize, okay, now I'm just gonna go do cool shit on my own. You know? Fuck that up. There's also, you also do graffiti. I've memorized a lot of my favorite tags, so end up doing the same thing more often than not. But yeah, this is the custom mod. This is a modded map. the people who make modded maps for this game kind of go crazy. They kind of go crazy. I would say the music in this game is also some of my favorite in game music. I have it in my stream music playlist, but I muted the game music to use my stream music playlist, so you're gonna hear my stream music playlist, and also I don't feel like listening to Street Fighter right now. Skip. But yeah, I'm gonna switch over to a bunch of different maps. This is, you know, I call this stream a Cyberfunk and chill for a reason. All right, I'm just gonna do stuff. All right. This modded map. If you ever wanted to play it, it's called Angel City. Write that down. But go ahead and it's all sorts of stuff. I even have maps from there's even maps from old like skate games and stuff, like Skate 3 and Skate 2 and stuff. Like let me see, where is school? That's what I want to do. Let's go there. Let's go to the university. Was it? I think it was called University. I want to go there specifically. There's a lot of places I can go, but we're going to University. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for it. There it is. University. Angel City, because you can't see angels. I think I missed the joke. I'm not even gonna pretend like I got it. I missed that one. I did. This wasn't here before. Oh, recent additions. Okay. Anyway, let me show you a mechanic in this game I really like. When you switch characters in the game, do normal means this scene happens. And I have every character in the game, so like you're gonna see all of them here. But normally you have to unlock them by playing the game and stuff, and that's a modded character right there. Don't worry about that character. But yeah, it's a very cool feature. Like this game is just very. It's very. There's a lot of words to describe it. For me, this game is just a great time to just digest. Do things, do tricks, ride around, mess around with stuff, and yada 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 yada, all that yada. Let's play Shine. Yeah, let's play Shine. Now, normally that would be accompanied by music, by the way, but there's like music when you change, but I have the music in the game muted. Don't mind the physics that just got used here. That is, look, I have mods and I know how to use them extremely well, so I'm able to pull off some really funky things. Most people probably wouldn't be able to do that even with the mods, so yeah, it's probably not representative of what your gameplay would look like if you were to play this game. That's just a product of me enjoying a game as much as I do. I do really cool, stupid shit without thinking about it. Just zoning out, not really focusing on anything, just doing stuff. I've been toying around with some newer mods that I've actually acquired, and I'll show that mod in a moment. Let me finish this line real quick. I'm kind of going crazy. She is a baddie. I'm trying to make this look as cool as possible. Just roll down the hill. I love the momentum. I love doing the acid drop. It's so good. Yeah, the momentum break is so sick. Oh my gosh. This game is so good, bro.
Get it. Yeah.
Okay. How you doing? Let me make sure. G Warrior? Oh, sorry. 6 Warrior, my bad. I don't know why I saw a G. How you doing? 6 Warrior, what's up? Welcome to the chill stream words. Yeah, look, this is a work in progress. I kind of made the stream on a whim. I just decided, hey, I need an excuse to play my favorite game on stream. Last time I played this game was like 2 years, like on stream specifically, was like 2-3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I was really horrendous at literally everything. I do not go looking for those old streams. The ghosts of Christmas past will hunt you in your dreams. Not for any like, oh man, it was so awful, I said some crazy things. No, look, everybody has their journey when they go start something, and my journey as a content creator, especially when it comes to streaming, learning how to do the audio, things like that, right? It's all a part of the journey, and let's just say I learned really fast compared to most people. It didn't take years. I just took a year. Okay, so if you watch me 2 years, watch anything from 2 years ago, all my old streams from 2 years ago and above, good luck, because you know I will not say I had great mic quality, or had good sound balancing, or had much coherency in what I was gonna do next, or how loud things were, because I wasn't in the habit of like watching my content back, because, well, I felt ashamed. I don't know what it was, but like when I first started streaming, I felt really ashamed of just existing on the internet. So I didn't watch my own shit back. I should have, because the moment I did, I realized, oh my god, I can't hear anything. Everything's so fucking loud. I thought the sounds were supposed to balance themselves out. I was wrong. You balance that shit out yourself. You handle that shit yourself, or face the consequences. And God bless, I faced consequences. And so did anybody else who dared to tune into those. So don't watch my old streams from 2 years ago. I learned my lesson. I learned how to do things correctly, but you know, some things I'm not gonna take off my channel. If somebody wants to open Pandora's box, feel free. But that's just a torture chamber, all right? You might destroy headphones. Let's just say that everything being set to full volume and then OBS not being properly EQ'd or anything creates really scary results. You know, you can really amplify some sounds to be louder than you could ever imagine them to be. And then you have multiple different sounds. You have the game sound, you have my voice and my mic, which I wasn't quite sure how to properly EQ that yet. Yeah, spooky times, man. Spooky times. Let me end this string. Anyway, you have the will. You can do anything. Of course, of course. I always tell people that. Just wouldn't. It's like when I say, like, give me 5, 10, 20 hours on a video game and I'll be amazing at it. Probably not the best in the world, but you know, good enough that I'm better than you, whoever you are, you know, hypothetical human in question. But the reason, and one of the things that empowers that statement is the fact that I've come to realize that if I stick with something, I'm gonna get good at it. And the same with other people. Most people can say the same thing, right? There's some people who probably are special cases and they probably have unique circumstances that make that statement untrue. But if you're not one of those people, first off, shut the fuck up, all right? You special snowflake. But second, you know, it's like, okay, well, stick with it and learn the thing. But yeah, just in general, people can stick with something and learn the thing and you get better at it. And content creation is one of those things where you don't realize how many layers is involved with this shit until you really realize it. Like, it's kind of unbelievable. Nobody would believe how much learning, the learning curve, the technology, the software, just knowing what can I get this, what's this do, oh, is this going to be useful for the thing that I'm doing? No, but you might want to hold on to that bit of software right there. You might do something with that in the future, yada 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 yada. Like, bro, it's infinite rabbit holes for infinite purposes, for infinite reasons, for infinite goals, for infinite. And it's like, you really just have to narrow down, what the fuck do I want to do and how well do I want to do it? Am I trying to go like super ultra mega professional with tons of money behind me? I don't have that kind of deal. Okay, well, I guess I'll go kind of professional, good sound quality. You know, like, but even then, that's a whole, you have to study up. Like, content creation is not for the faint of heart, bro. As much as I hate on content creators I really don't like for the type of content they make, I completely salute anybody who sticks this shit out and actually does it. Especially, you know, especially seeing it, considering I've done it for like the latter of 2 years now. I understand, you know, like I know the pains of having to grow through issues that no one's helping you on. Most people don't have someone they can call to solve their fucking technological problems, or hey, my OBS is tripping on this thing when I add this thing and I'm really trying to make this work. Can you help me figure it out? Oh, that's glitchy? Oh, that's buggy? Thank you for letting me know. How do I fix it? Oh, you go into the code or you go into you open up a notepad and change certain things to true or false? Which ones? I don't have anybody who I can call on the phone for that shit. If that's some sort of unique, ultra specific, ungoogleable issue that I have, then I'm just gonna have to tough it out. Find some like sources of mild information, accept that little bit of information I get and just go from there, because somebody fixed it, they just didn't document it. So I guess I got to be one of the people who fix it without documentation as well. So that's been a lot of my content creator journey, despite the growth or lack thereof, if somebody wants to point that out. I mean, I grew up at my own pace. Everybody grows a channel at their own pace, and I like the way I do things. It makes me feel in control, if that makes any sense. But you know, like, there's just certain factors to this shit that you really wouldn't get it unless you did it. And it's not even like an elitist thing. It could never be an elitist thing because anybody can do this. But it also takes somebody special to stick with this shit. When you end up finding out how much stuff you have to learn, you have to get through, you have to figure it out, you have to do this, that, and third. It's like, shit. What is going? Jesus Christ, this is crazy. You know, it's like, when you say I wanna do content in the future, like when I see little kids say that, and my dream is to do content creation, you better be one tough motherfucker and like a problem solver, a genuine problem solver, and someone who's willing to spend 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours trying to solve one issue. Because if you're not willing to sit there and solve one issue for that long, you can't solve the rest. Some don't take that long, but then you encounter the most important ones that absolutely do, and you gotta like lock the fuck in. It's either do or die, you know? Most people give up midway, even though they would do nice if they went till the end. Yeah, there's plenty of small content creators who I did see pop up, and I was like, yeah, you got a nice little thing going on there. I like your niche. I like what you're locking in on, and then they just disappear, they give up, or they just stop posting for like a bajillion years. And luckily, I have a very controlled algorithm because I heavily control what I watch, so I don't get sent to the shadow realm every time a content creator who doesn't post stops posting. I don't like, so for me, I know what's going to be on my notifications. I know what's going to be on my on my recommended list. I have an idea of exactly what it, so like if somebody who I used to watch 4 years ago who stopped posting suddenly starts posting again, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna get recommended that shit because I don't poison my own algorithm with random shit I don't care about, which is something a lot of people do, by the way. Like that might sound like I'm being mean, but think about that. Think about all the garbage content you might end up accidentally consuming, just knowing damn well I shouldn't have clicked on that thumbnail. That shit was ass. This shit was just as bad as the thumbnail made it seem like it was. And I'm not saying like bad as in bad content. Bad as in personally you didn't like it. Opinion wise, you thought that shit was not for you. I should not have watched this shit, whatever this shit is, right? And then next thing you know, you're getting recommended a bunch of that shit. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what happens. So I just make sure I avoid that. If I ever go outside of the things I prefer to watch, I basically watch 8 things that I prefer to watch to forcefully correct the algorithm, to let the shitty algorithm know, hey, no, I don't like that thing. I was just giving it a chance because I thought it might have been good, but I don't like that person, and I don't like that community. I don't like the comment section. I don't want to see that shit pop up in my algorithm. And again, don't suggest that video, please. And then I never see it again, or anything like it, or whatever that thing is. And if you don't know how to, it's very easy to influence the algorithm because it is personalized to you, because they just, they analyze what you watch and shit. But like, it also takes a little bit of discipline because people fall for clickbait all the time. I don't. I have disciplined myself over the last decade of my life to just never fall for clickbait unless it's already something I was gonna watch anyway, in which case I just kind of roll my eyes and go, you didn't have to do that, bro. But but otherwise I don't fall for, I don't click on things that are just like nebulous, and if you don't know what nebulous means, it means confusing. I just taught y'all a new word. Shouts out to me and you learning together, right? But yeah, I don't click on nebulous thumbnails and I'm like, what the fuck is this? If I can't tell what it is through the title and the thumbnail and things that are supposed to give me information on what that video is supposed to be about, then I don't click it, I don't watch it, I don't partake. Like, for example, even if it's a channel that I do watch, if that channel makes a mysterious video that's just like crazy obtuse thumbnail and the title is just like the most, I'm not gonna tell you what this is, just come watch the video as title, yeah, I don't care if I watch you normally. Not doing that. I don't know what sort of mystery meat you got going on there, but serve it to the dumbasses. I'm not that stupid. it's probably, and it usually it's like some random YouTuber drama or something that I don't know about and I don't care about. I'm not interested in it. I don't want to know the memes related to it. I don't care. I don't want to be indoctrinated into someone else's fucking drama that they made up for the benefit of their fucking channel and shit. Like, yeah, I'm good on that. I'll pass. You can keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
But realizing how to control your impulses to click on mysterious and strange thumbnails and titles is like the best way to start controlling your algorithm, like in seeing only what you actually truly want to watch, because you watch those things. You just gotta stop watching the shit you don't like, because then YouTube's gonna keep sending you shit you don't like, and then you'll keep falling for the temptations of annoying clickbait thumbnails and things for those things you don't like. And it's just like, geez, why do I keep doing this to myself? Is what a lot of people think. And there's a lot of people who just have a really weird, fucked up algorithm, and they're like, I always get recommended some really strange things, and I'm like, I wonder why. You probably click a lot of really strange things and don't realize it's what the algorithm thinks you like it. Like, you gotta tell yourself no. When you find yourself about to click on that bullshit, you know what I mean. Everybody knows their idea of that's some bullshit, but the thumbnail is so weird. It's so strange. Like, just like, man, the psychological tactics so many content creators employ these days, you gotta learn like a bit of psychology. Like, I feel like everybody would have some level of psychological understanding and how to at least control themselves just by learning how to control their own algorithm, because it does take a lot of self-discipline and conscious awareness of what the fuck people do to convince you to press on their videos, to stick around longer. Like, when you notice, like, for example, you ever heard of retention editing? Because if you've ever heard of retention editing, then you know exactly where I'm going with this. When you notice a content creator, or let's say you watch a video that does interest you and you are enjoying it, but then you start noticing segments in the video where the editing gets very ADHD, and just, maybe there's just random ass on the screen, and now you're watching the video again. Did I catch your attention? And it's like, I never stopped looking at the video. And then that's when you realize that part of the editing wasn't for you. It was for the people who don't pay attention to anything, and when their attention span gives up, they need that extra bit of special ed editing to get them to stare at the screen again, aka like putting a character with boobs on the screen. You looking at the screen now? Y'all paying attention? Yeah, titties. Anyway, now that your attention has been regained, lock in for me. But yeah, so when you notice that kind of editing, it's like, it's the sort of shit that makes you think, damn, are people really that cooked that like every fucking channel ever is just doing their best at retention editing? I didn't know what that was until like 3 months ago, and that shit pisses me off. It's like, because it makes me feel bad for the future of content. Because what if I don't want to maintain an audience of people who don't have the attention, or who have the attention of a fucking goldfish? I don't always want to deal with that shit. It's hard enough, like, it's annoying enough when I'm streaming. Streaming to an audience that's kind of the Wild West when it comes to it, because ultimately anybody shows up. Like, I mean, a prime example are people who show up for the first 5 seconds, and they even bother to chat, and it's like, hey, I fuck with that, appreciate that, it helps, yeah, talk to me, what's up? And then they leave. They say hi or something, or they ask me what the game is, and then they leave. Not a oh, cool, nothing, no follow-up, just, and they're gone. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's fine for the most part. Like, I don't care. It's the normal process of things. Ultimately it's just, I call it the grand filter. If anything, people who are gonna stay, they're gonna fuck with it, and everyone else is gonna either, their attention span is gonna fizzle out because I didn't respond in like 0.2 seconds, which they probably wouldn't have listened to anyway because their mind was already on scrolling endlessly. So it's like, shit, tough. But yeah, that's exactly what that's what retention editing is for. People who who just don't stick around. Their mind is already going before they even click off the video. It's like, why? Who are your parents? I would hate to have a kid who has a really small attention span, by the way, because I think I'd be a pretty attentive parent. I'd be a pretty caring, there parent if I had the money, you know, because I wouldn't raise a kid without the money. I would never want to bring a kid into this world knowing damn well I can't figure out if I'm straight next month. Like, are we good next month? Like, bills paid next month? Let me take a look at some finances. Oh shit. I might need to pull some favors. Like, if that's my life, which it kind of is right now, but you know, like, I wouldn't raise a kid in that environment. Like that, I can't stand people who do that shit. And plenty of people say it's fine, who cares, just do whatever, right? But at the same time, is that really how we want to live these days? Is that really what people want for their spawn? To know, like, their spawn and see, for them to have to like constantly hide the uncertainty of their fucking stupidity. You're raising a child in circumstances where you're not even sure if you can eat. That's on you, bro. But unfortunately, it's no longer like just a you problem. It's a you and your child and whomever else you're in a relationship with. And I hope at that point now, I'm like, I hope you figure it out. I hope you don't just remain a dumbass. Because you were a dumbass to raise a child, to even have a child in these conditions in the first place. But now you're an asshole because you're raising a child in these conditions and you haven't even figured out how to get out of them. It's like, damn. And I get it, not everybody even like gets to a point where they can say they live comfortably for like a mass majority of their life. But at the same time, some people know damn well they're at rock bottom and they have kids, and it's like, Jesus Christ, I can't stand people who do that. And then not to mention, they're mentally not together, like they're just, you know, they're just like, you know, they're just like kind of cooked mentally. They know they're cooked. It's not even like oh, you're just being mean. No. They a lot of these people know they're mentally unstable and they're not in a good place. You know? And it's like, so if you know this, why are you having children? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like I would hope that by the time, no, not hope. I will make sure that when I'm settling down to have a child and everything in my life, when all that's sorted, like I'm gonna make sure that I'm mentally good. Like I'm in a great place. I don't want to be tearing myself apart. I don't want to be dealing with deep depression and everything else, right? You know, because everyone deals with it. It's just a matter of, do you actually want to solve the problem, or do you want to bring someone else into it and make them feel the consequences of your bad day? Like that's the worst part. Is like people with who are going through some shit don't realize that going through some shit is normal. But imagine going through some shit with a child who's just curious about everything. They're curious about life, and it's your job to raise them, to teach them, to educate them, right? And instead of doing a good job at that, you just kind of rage out because like, what the fuck? Like, imagine that shit. Actually, no, don't imagine that shit. That's sad. That's very sad. Let me read chat real quick. The title exists for saying it's so interesting and beautiful. Just throw your phone away. Yeah. Parents raise them. Most parents. Under the blame. It do be like that. Good people, if you can't probably handle kids, don't have them. Fuck your brains at. They don't have a brain. I think they could raise. I think a child would solve everything, brighten up everything. You know, I hate that. I hate that mentality. People who genuinely think that having kids will make their life better and make everything better, and it's like, well, you know, things are really hard. And like, for example, you know what I hate hearing from parents? When parents tell me that they don't regret having children when in the struggle and yada yada yada. And it's like, and their reasoning tends to be that because of their children, they lock in and they, you know, blah 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 blah, and this, that, and the third. And it's like, really? Really? So because of this child, you're locked in, and you're gonna work harder. You're gonna work twice as hard. You're gonna work 3 times as hard, 1,000,000 times harder. I hate that shit. I hate hearing that. Because on one hand, sure, fictional-wise, you know, we can, in a fictional universe, we can all think, oh man, if I had a kid, I'd work so hard for them to make sure they have the best life and they never live. It's like, sure, but have you escaped that life yourself, or are you just general bullshitting? You know, it's like there's hard work, and then there's just not being a dumbass. And a lot of people don't really make the difference anymore. They just kind of do whatever, and it's stupid. It's so stupid. Like, I would hate, like, I compare it to like anime syndrome in a way, because it's like people, like, for example, let's say you know somebody who, for whatever reason, has this weird, they have this weird thought in their head that they all love to vocalize, and they say something along the lines of, if I was in an anime world, I'd be so powerful, I'd chase it in. And it's like, for whatever reason, people, when they think about that conversation, they love to think that they'd be some sort of main character, or that they work so hard and they have so much power. And it's like, no, you'd probably be a regular peon who ends up dying in a war or some shit with no name. You know, maybe you might have a family that you leave behind because you die. I don't know. Either that, or a victim of a bandit or something in the forest. Like, that's just facts. You know, like, if you're not born with a special power or the ability to do the things that you see in the anime, you're not really gonna do the things you see in the anime. But they don't think about that. They just assume that they're just gonna be the guy or the girl, and it's like, yeah. And then, so you compare that to parenting, and honestly, it's akin to the same thing. Like, it's akin to the same logic. Like, oh, I'm gonna become a parent, and it's gonna make my life easier. I'm gonna lock in, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna work so hard. And it's like, where are these fantasies coming from? Like, and you know what's funny thing? It's always the people who are broke as shit. It's always the people who are in like terrible positions in their life. It's always the people who have like some serious mental health issues. Not even like the light shit, not like some standard shit. No. It's always the people who are just kind of really fucked in the head, and everybody knows it. It's not like a question of, well, they're not in that. No, we all have. We've known you long enough to know you're not okay, and you've had therapy many times, and it's like, it's not doing enough. You need to go back. You need to book a few more sessions before we see any kind. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, it's always people who say that shit, or who say that shit, who are like the worst mentally and economically. And it's like, yeah, someone please take this person, take the idea of having children out of this person's head. So and they'll be so adamant about it too. And these would be the same people who end up in relationships, like, good enough to end up actually having a child. It's like, how did this emotional wreck of a human being end up in a stable enough relationship that they convince this other person, yay, we should have a kid? And then they have the kid, and it's like, and it's basically just torture, as you said, Yumi. Like, it's basically just torture. Like, the kid grows up in a stressful environment. Nobody has any fucking money. Nobody knows what the fuck to do. Everyone's just, you know, mind broken, like, sleep. And it's like, bro, and you go over to their house or whatever, if it's like a family member or a family friend or a friend of yours, and you go to their house and you're like, and you see how everything is, you know, you investigate, and you just can tell, like, everything's just kind of wrong. You know, like everything's just kind of incorrect here. But you can't say anything because it's their home. You know, it's like it's literally their home. And it's their kid, and like everyone's like, oh, you don't tell me. Like, one of the things I hate in this world, and I'm gonna get into exactly why I hate this. I hate when people say, don't tell me how to raise my kid. Now, I can understand someone just giving you bad advice, but that shit pisses me off to no end when it's someone who noticed. I think there's a glitch that occurred because of one of the physics things that I did. Let me just reload real quick. But it's one of those things I hate to hear, because it's like, what the fuck do you mean don't tell you how to raise your kid? Like, do people, it's like people, you know, here's why I don't like that statement. Because people love to think that raising a kid is like your own personal little bubble responsibility, but like, if you think about it, and I can say this with certainty because I was technically raised by multiple different people and family members who imbued in me a lot of different wisdom and love and compassion and things growing up. So like, I understand this distinctly because I was lucky enough to experience it. Raising children is not a solo endeavor. Like, you don't just do this by yourself. If you have family around you, they should help too. Everybody should take part in this child's life, you know, like 100%. Like, this is not some special customized duty that only you get. It's like, it's a thing that everybody participates in. Like, it's actually like a group activity. Nobody raises a child with just two people. If you have aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandmas, grandpas, all that sort of shit, cousins, older cousins, little cousins get raised by older cousins in certain ways. You know, you learn how to be a teenager from your teenage cousins when you're a kid, because they're the prime example of who you're around. You know, them your folks, right? Like, yeah. And then it's like your parents are busy working, but Uncle Jeffrey, you know, he comes around and he tells you all about some shit, and you're like, that's dope, I love that. And it's like, you know, and it's like, it's just, that's the process, that's the program, that's how it goes. But people really love to forget that they, like, especially it be the people who were not raised, you know, on their own. They weren't raised with just their mom and dad. They had people around them. They love to act like they're gonna raise their kid all on their own. No, you're not. You're gonna be a fucking wreck, and you're gonna forget the people around you. And when shit hits rock bottom for you and your kid, then people will force themselves into your lives and make everything better. And then you'll be thankful. I've seen this process happen so many times, where someone who's so resentful of everyone else stepping in and trying to be there, and they're like, don't do that, it's my kid, this is you don't pay bills, it is like, and then everything falls down. You know, everything gets really, really bad, and then next thing you know, family members start stepping in when they should have done that a long time ago. And then we have the circumstance where now it feels like that child is being raised the right way, with multiple people around, different insight, different perspectives on life, not just this one isolated, hard-working individual who has no time for their own child in the first place, like, but actual people around to say, you know, like, I'm so glad I grew up around so many different perspectives on life. I didn't see just one or two perspectives on life. I didn't see just hard work and dedication, get this money. I didn't see just hustle culture, and like, I grew up with so many different ways of life. It wasn't just gaming, it wasn't just this, it wasn't just that. There's so many different ways that you can live, and there's so many different ways people do live. And I've seen that growing up because these people are around me. But like, there's so many kids who only know one way of life. And it's either the one that they see their parents doing, or the one that was shoved in, you know, towards them, you know, aka a tablet. They know that way of life, and they don't know anything else. That's crazy. I think I broke something in the mod. I might have broke something. It feels weird. Like, I shouldn't have gravity, like low gravity on that. This should not be this floaty. Interesting. I'm gonna close the game out and open it back up. Must be that's a new issue. I've never had that issue before. Probably something I have to diagnose, but whatever. But yeah, children should be raised with a village, and if you have that village, more power to you. If there's friends who are willing to be a uncle or a auntie to your children, don't deny them that chance, because they have something that they can tell. They have wisdom, they have life experience that you don't, that can be given to that child to make them a better version of all of us. That's the whole point of raising the future. Children are the future, but they can't really be the future if all they are given is a shitty blueprint. And at that point, they're just banking on how intelligent they are enough to figure out how fucked their start was to rebuild their own foundation personally in their own lives. Like, I've noticed a lot of people, a lot of young adults, a lot of people just getting into their teens or late teens even, whatever, like they're starting to step into a realization that they have to rebuild their own lives. What the fuck is going on with that? Why does that show? Sorry, I'm looking at the kick stream. Something weird happened. I don't like that. It's showing the mod thing. There we go. Anyway, let me make sure the audio is good too. Did the audio bug out too? I hope not. But anyway, yeah, so like children really should be raised with different perspectives, because you can't give a kid a full life when all on your own, when your life itself was not made up of just the people, just your immediate surroundings. The amount of friends, family, and everything, all the people who imbued something in you. Like that means something. But a lot of people love to forget and just, nah, not me. I'm fine. Also, what's wrong with my sensitivity? Why is it suddenly so low? That's weird. That's a new issue. Let me read chat real quick. It's like a kid doesn't know. It's like a kid doesn't mean you doesn't know. It's indecent. If you have hair, it doesn't mean you know how to style it in multiple different ways. Absolutely, that's a good one. It's a real good one. I like that one. You gotta learn. Even if they think, oh, I'm a grown adult, I know everything, don't try to teach me. Yeah, it's really annoying. And that level of stubbornness, you can always tell when kids have like that kind of stubborn parent as well, because they'll inherit that. Like, children are really good at learning because of the gray matter in their undeveloped brains. They take everything like a sponge. Like, people really don't understand how that is not exaggerated. Children will learn everything you do from a subconscious point, to the point where it's small behaviors, little ticks, triggers, it becomes something they personally remember, and it becomes part of who they are. Like, that is wrong thing. That is just how it is. Why is the sensitivity suddenly so fucking low? What the hell? Whatever, man. Don't do that again, video game. Okay. Good? We're good? Okay. Anyway. That's a glitch. That should not have... It still feels goofball. What the hell? It must be modded. Like, it must be... some mod went haywire. It's fine, though. I'm still yapping. I don't care. But yeah, it's... I mean, it's a bit better. Anyway. But, yeah. What was that? Right, yeah, children, blah, blah, blah. Okay, point is, children don't, yeah, words, yeah. The same people who, I guess I'll just end it off on this point. I forgot where I was in this fucking, talking about this. But yeah, the same people who will always say, don't tell me how to raise my children, are the exact same people who need to be told how to raise their fucking children. Not because they're doing a bad job, but because they could potentially be doing something or not be doing. It's the things you're not doing, not the things you're doing wrong. Because 9 to 10, most people don't even do a terrible job of the initial part of raising kids. They don't really do a bad job per se. It's not, you know, it's more like, what aren't you doing? Like, people never ask that question. It's not what you're doing sometimes. Sometimes you can be a phenomenal doer. But what aren't you doing? Like, why don't people ever consider that part? You triggered a hidden Easter egg. I'm not gonna tell you what word triggered that one, but a certain fan base knows exactly what word triggered that exact sound. Anyway. People don't have kids, save the world, peace. But yeah, it's just, yeah, ultimately, I lost track of what I was saying. Damn it, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But yeah, ultimately, I just find it really obnoxious that people suck at being parents. Oh, that's what I was saying, yeah. People suck at not realizing what they're not doing for their kids. And they really don't understand that. They really don't understand it, you know? And it feels like you gotta work so hard to get someone to understand sometimes. Like, I'm not judging you for what you did. Obviously, you take care of your child. You did the bare minimum, good fucking job. But like, more importantly, what about the parts that people don't see, you know? Like, are you actually there for your kid, or are you just telling them to go away? Like, it's one thing to tell your kid to go away. Hey, go away. I got company right now. Go play with your toys. Go to your room, right? But that's exactly the problem. And that becomes something that people don't stop doing. Because now it's a thing where it's like you're just constantly shooing your child away whenever they come around you. And then people wonder why when they hit like 10 years old, when a kid hits like 10, they're like not even bothering to go to their parent for shit. You know, they don't, like, there's so many, like, I've seen this in my streams at times where if the subject matter of a conversation ended up being talking to your parents about some shit, even if it was like a more adult conversation, you know, for people who are not kids, right? For, you know, different matters, you know, that involve your parents, because we all have parents and we're all like, you know, people, you know, that's like going to your parents for something is not like exclusively some childish thing. It is something that people do even in their adult years, because if your parents are still alive, why not go for them for shit? They have wisdom. But regardless, like, I'll notice that in conversations regarding topics like these, some people don't even like to mention their parents. They don't like the topic. They kind of just want to ignore that subject. And I get it, because, you know, you grow up with your parents shooing you away all the time. What does that teach you? Well, it teaches you a subconscious. There's a lot of downsides to it, but I'll focus on one thing. It teaches you that your parents don't really want you around. So once you get to a certain age, you kind of get used to just trying to avoid them. You know, like, whenever they enter a room, you're trying to find your way out of that room, because you're not trying to get told to shoot. It makes you feel bad, especially as a kid. I mean, what kid wants to be told by their own, you know, their own like caretaker, their parent, their mother, their father, go away, I'm busy or something, over and over and over. Every time if anytime you go towards them, it has to be for some school paper for them to sign or something like that. And it's like they never want anything to do with you. Almost like that's the sort of shit that makes a kid feel worthless. If your own parents don't want to talk to you, God bless. And you can see these sorts of signs in like kids on Discord, even right now. Like, go into a random server where you know there's children who probably shouldn't be in there, and just watch how much they cling to other people in that server. Even you, if you get too, you know, comfortable around them, or if they get too comfortable around you, rather. And it becomes evident that they're just trying to find people who don't tell them to go away. They're looking for that. They're looking for people who don't make them feel like they're not wanted. Because parents don't realize it's a small shit like that that makes a kid go, yeah, but, you know, especially because parents don't think that, parents assume that kids are smart, they understand my intention, I'm busy. No, kids understand your intention was that you don't want them near them. Because children are inherently emotional, and they lack emotional control that a teenager or adult would have. So those emotional scars turn into, I guess my mother doesn't want to see me around, my father, I guess dad doesn't want to be near me, I guess. Blah 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 blah. I guess I'll just hang out in my room more often. I'll go outside. I'll do this and that. I'll find any excuse to not be near you. And then they hit their teenage years, and it's like, what do you expect them to do? They don't want to be. They don't want to be. Now the emotional scars have turned into behavioral patterns where they're looking for they're looking to be wanted anywhere else except for around their parents. And even when their parents change for the better and start actually trying to interact with their children more directly, the damage was done for years. The damage was done. The emotional scars, and even if they don't, and the worst part is, a lot of teenagers won't realize that they have a lot of emotional trauma. Like, people don't realize in their teenage years, they have all sorts of emotional trauma from when they were a kid. Unless you just had magically amazing, legendary parents who made no accidental mistakes that left a scar because child you didn't interpret their behavior as something mean and, just something mean-spirited and hurtful. Therefore, it turned into a deep subconscious pit of pain, and then that turns into a whole different thing, right? And then you get older, and then it turns into trauma, but it's a subconscious trauma, the sort of trauma that actually controls your actions as you go through your day, the sort of trauma that actually determines how you feel that day based on who said what to you. And people don't realize, like, some people think they're bipolar. No, just certain words and certain things trigger certain emotions in you that have been embedded in you since you were like fucking, I don't know, like 7 years old or some shit. That's just how it is. And then, some kids are lucky enough to have a good, actual good therapist who can help break that shit down for them before it turns into adult trauma. Because, oh man, don't get me started on adult trauma, because once you actually reach those late teen years, it's anything depending on how fast that people mature. But nowadays, people are maturing a bit sooner than later because of how life is for people. It's more common to see someone who's like 17 acting like they're fucking 20, even if they're not, even if they don't have the responsibilities. That's just how people are maturing these days, right? It's just how it is, right? People are less childish than they used to be. Less childlike innocence that people have for less amounts of times. It's sad, but that's just how it is. But anyway, so like, by the time people reach that stage in their life, their traumas that go unresolved turn into adult trauma, because now you're old enough and conscious of yourself enough at that point to at least self-reflect and realize what you hate, why you hate it, but you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to go talk to the people who caused it. That's assuming they're still around, but right? That you don't know, blah 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 blah, right? And it just creates this endless loop of, what the fuck do I do? Every time I look at this person, I feel this type of way. And at this point, as a grown ass man, I understand these feelings. I know I know the source of them. I can literally rant for hours about why I feel this way, this, that, and the third, whenever this happens. I hate when someone says certain words to me because it makes me feel like this, because this happened when I was a child, and that would always be a recurrent thing that made me feel useless, knowing damn well I'm not useless. But that's just, you know what I mean? Like, that's just me. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I'm just giving you a little 1% of like the sort of adult traumas that I have, that I recognize that I have, but it's hard to do anything about it because I'm a grown-ass man now. Like, I'm just gonna have to tough that shit out and hopefully break it down myself through my own efforts. There's no amount of therapy that can change that part. Sure, you can get a really good therapist who can help you start the process, but as an adult, at some point, your brain is solid. You don't have as much you don't have no gray matter no more. Like, at this point, like, I just gotta, like, actually conventionally, not even conventionally, I have to figure this shit out for me. Conventional is the wrong word. And the word I'm looking for is personally. I have to personally figure out how to solve these things for me. It's not the same way other people solve them. Everybody has their own solutions, and at this point, I need to find my personal creative solution to solve my problems. Because for me, there's certain things that I have as an adult that change from childhood emotional pain to trauma as a teenager to now it's just adult trauma. So it's like, yep, That's just heavyweight that I bear. Like, certain things shouldn't make me feel a certain type of way. I know this. But when it happens, I feel that way. And it makes me feel so bad. I feel so stupid. I feel so immature. I feel so childish. But also I feel so hurt and damaged by it. And it's like, it's a combination of feelings that ultimately culminates into this feeling, or ultimately I'm just like, damn, it all combines into just this one bundle of uselessness. Like, why does this make me feel so stupid, so useless? Why am I letting this bother me? But that's just how it is. And a lot of people don't want to admit that part about themselves, you know? They don't want to open up that can of worms, you know? And I get it, I do. But then you become your parents. Like, that's the scariest part. Why did my music just turn off? The fuck? Anyway. But yeah, that's the scariest part about it, is if you don't actually tackle your trauma that carried all the way through your into your adult years, or or whatever that level of maturity is for whoever that person is, then you're just gonna turn into your parents or whoever else hurt you. You're gonna turn into the people who hurt you. That sounds dramatic. It sounds like some anime shit, but really think about that shit. Like, for example, I can give you some real life examples of what I mean by this, and how I've come to realize this is just the case. My mother has a lot of traits from my grandmother, which is normal. But there's also a lot of the negative traits that she complains about to me about my grandmother, and then when she talks about her childhood sometimes to me, and I'm just like, oh, so these things happen to you, and this was no, okay. And then I see these behaviors reflect in my mother, especially when she's distressed and upsetty spaghetti. The only difference sometimes it's like the difference between my grandmother and my mother in those situations would be that my grandmother is just too old to put energy into those sort of feelings and moments, so she just doesn't anymore, which makes her seem far more tame compared to my mother in those moments where she's on edge. And you know what I mean? Like, that's just I'm not describing anything directly, but I'm sure somebody understands what I mean. My mother became my grandmother, and when it comes to the negatives, the traumas, the issues, the things she complains about to me, or just talks about when she's talking about her past and her childhood and where she grew up and incest there and dealing with this, is like, she doesn't, and sometimes, and the thing is, at this point, I don't think my mother realizes it. It's been so long, it's like, it's probably just ingrained to just feel that way, to just react that way, to be that way. It's like, you became the person you stared at in the mirror. The person you wanted to fix became you because you never fixed them. If that makes any sense, I guess. So that's something I'm personally trying to work on myself. Like, I really want to make sure that at some point in my life, sooner rather than later, I really tackle these internal griefs of mine, you know, like, because I don't want to get stuck like this. I don't want to be a victim of everyone else's problems. I don't want to be a combination of everyone else's pain and stress. I don't want that. Like, if there's one thing I'm not a fucking clone. I'm Bevan. AllCity Bevan with a chaos tag at points in times. At some points in times. It's like, that's who I am. I'm not someone else's fucking problem. I'm not someone else's fucking trauma. I'm not someone else's life experiences. And I refuse to become a clone of everything someone else been through and put it on me without realizing they put that shit on me. Therefore, it is my personal goal to get rid of those parts of myself, those traumatic parts that I got from the people who raised me. Now, I'm not saying, oh man, fuck my parents, they did a terrible job, but there's just some things I'm just like, ugh, man, I don't want that certain parts to stay a part of me. Some parts I notice in myself that I always complain that my dad does. You know, I'll say, man, dad's always doing this shit, man, blah 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 blah. And it's like, and then I end up doing it, and it's like I became the person I complained about. You know, like I'm technically doing the things I'm complaining about. I am doing the thing, but I'm not old yet. Or I'm not stuck in my ways. I can change. I can overcome. I can be better. I can be better than yesterday. I can be better than last year. I can be better than the last 70 years of someone else's life. Cause that's one thing that children can do if given the opportunity, and the next generation. That's why I like to channel that sort of potential of being the next generation that came after another generation. You know, I can overcome the problems that other people got stuck on. And I truly want to embody that. I want to believe. I don't want to just believe that shit. I want to embody that. I want to do that shit. I want to overcome every single problem I see the older generation have that makes their life so cumbersome and so much harder than it has to be. Because they have these issues. They do these things. I don't want to do those things. I don't want to inherit that shit. I don't want to inherit your problems. I want to inherit the efficiencies. I want to inherit the solutions. I want to inherit the good parts. You know? Because that's where the good stuff is. I don't want to inherit the bad habits. The why do I even do this? You know, like that. The shit. I don't want to inherit the what the fuck are we even doing? You know? I don't want those. And honestly, everybody has a choice. You can either give up and just take what you get, or actually try to mold yourself into being something better. Because at the end of the day, at some point, it's no longer on anybody else to do it for you. At some point, it's no longer a matter of who raised you. At some point, it becomes a matter of who do you want to be? What do you want to see in yourself? Do you think, and it's not even a point of do you think you're capable of becoming that person? Because you either do or you don't. And at least that's what I like to think. You know, I'm not sure. I'm no therapist. I'm no trained psychiatrist or anything. And I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is changing my fucking life. Changing my mind. Doing better for me. Because that is more important than worrying about if I have the credentials to be, to do, to wonder, to see, to blah 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 blah. Fuck all that shit. And fuck whoever gives out the credentials, because they're fucking gatekeeping. This shit ain't hard. I know it's not hard, because you got shitty therapists and psychiatrists who just get paid boatloads of money being a shitty therapist or psychiatrist. If it was hard, they wouldn't have their fucking job. Clearly there's some LARPing going on, and it has been for a very long time now, so all things considered, fuck that shit. I build who I want to be, and nobody else gets to fucking change that narrative. Not my parents, not my sister, not my bad days, hell, not even my good days, but me, who I am at all times, who I decide to be at all times. That's the person who builds me. That's what builds me. You know?
Yeah.
How did I get to this topic? Oh, right, I was talking about children and trauma. I was talking about trauma and stuff like that. Hey, this is a chill session, bro. It's a chill stream. You know? Maybe maybe decompression should have been in the title. A decompression stream, a chill stream, fucking, you know, I don't know. Decompression is a big word to use for a title, and I don't think most people know what that word means. They'll pretend like they do, but they don't. So, yeah, I might be maybe I'm underestimating people, but I don't think I should ever really use big words in my thumbnails and stuff like that. And I know that sounds like some sort of like, oh, you're just calling people stupid. I am calling people stupid. And I truly don't believe that most people would even remotely understand a fraction of the big words that I could use in titles and thumbnails to make things sound and be more sophisticated and be more what they actually are. But, you know, calling it a chill stream, Now that makes that resonates with people. People understand that one. That makes sense. Anyway, let me read chat real quick. Kids acting like adults. Kids acting like adults nowadays. Adults acting like toddlers. Kids can't be kids. They can't. It's sad. Horrified every turn to your parents. Yeah, me too. It's good. I'm not saying I have bad parents. Like I said, I don't want it to put the idea, like some crazy idea out there that I have shit parents. Quite the opposite. But also, that doesn't mean that I want to inherit who they are. I want to inherit the good parts of my parents and be the amalgamation that becomes the better part of who they were. I truly believe that is always going to be the way to go. Just like with a video game. I never want to, if someone's teaching me how to play a game, or if I'm learning from, getting lessons from somebody on a game, I don't want to inherit their bad habits. I want the good stuff, and then I want to develop my own play style from that, right? I guess that's a great analogy for that, for anybody who's ever learned how to play a video game from somebody. Sometimes you learn all their terrible habits too, and in this case, I don't want to learn their terrible habits. I want to learn the stuff that they learned to do that made them better, and then take that as pieces of my own puzzle. This is my life. I don't gotta be mid. I can be great. I can be Bevan. English is your second language. You learn so many new words from you. From me, well, I do my best to try to educate a little bit here and there. I don't want to become an educational channel, but one thing I like to do is make sure that I provide some kind of value to the shit that I say. Because that's how I learned a lot of the words that I know now. I learned them because, you know, I was around people who just casually said bigger words that I had no idea what they were. And through context clues, I learned what they are. And in other cases, and because of context clues in learning, because of context clues and learning what those words were, I learned how to learn. You know, like I got better at just learning things. If someone said a word that I'm like, what is that? I want to know what that means. Then I had to figure it out. And it gave me the ability, or it sharpened my ability to just learn something from scratch. And a lot of people have that ability, especially as a child. Everyone has that ability as a kid. Kids are inquisitive beings by nature, unless you're just naturally not for some specific reason. But yeah, so yeah, that just turned into a eternal desire to learn things. Like when I find something new that I'm interested in, I really want to learn how to do it. Same with like things like content creation, and I'm very obsessed with this kind of deal, like learning new stuff, acquiring new tech for this and all this sort of stuff. Like, sure, it takes time and it's expensive and it's hard and it's annoying and it's fucking but it's just that's just what I want to do. I want to learn. I want to do that because that's something I learned how to do. I learned how to learn as a kid, and I never want to give this shit up. Learning is one of the most fun things I can do in my life. When I learn something new, do you know how much serotonin and dopamine I get? Shit's fucking incredible. And I'm not sure everybody feels that way, but I do. I feel that way when I learn new shit, and at the very least, I like sharing knowledge, at least subtly. I don't like lecturing people, but I do like to share a little bit of knowledge here and there because you know, it's like if I can give somebody something nice to take away from a conversation with me, then I definitely feel like that, one, that conversation wasn't worthless, but two, you know, I contributed to the greater knowledge of the world by giving somebody something they didn't already have. Then they can do the same and learn something else and take that same energy and give that to someone else, and whatever that is. And it's like, and that's, I know that sounds crazy, but really think about that. By imparting just nothing in particular, just whatever, this, that, and the third, by imparting that knowledge to people, I gained so much that otherwise I wouldn't have had. And so does the rest of the world, because now that's someone else who might be interested in telling someone else something interesting, or teaching them a new word or a new thing, a new hobby, and seeing that person get spurred on to go do the thing and be like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, that's dope. Let me try that, you know? And then they go on to teach someone else. something. And everybody's just learning from each other. It's a world where we all learn from each other. Nobody has to, there's like, gatekeeping knowledge is so cringe to me. The only time I'll ever do that is if I'm holding on to like forbidden, broken ass knowledge. It's like, okay, this is the sort of shit that would ruin things, and I'm the only person who knows it. I'm gonna hold this shit to my fucking grave, right? Like in a video game, for example, if I'm a player who discovers some crazy broken shit and nobody else discovers it because it's using stuff that most people will never want to use, then I'm just not gonna reveal it. I'm not gonna talk about it, and if someone else discovers it naturally, so be it. But just know it's not gonna spread because of me. That's the only time I'll gatekeep knowledge, when I know it's for the betterment of that game and it just makes that game more fun to play for people by not knowing it. When you don't know the broken, because the thing is, especially with video games, with a lot of things in real life, once people know certain things about games, it's like their brain just goes on a fucking spree of nonsense. Like, you ever notice that? Like, you can show somebody like something overpowered in a video game and somehow they go from like being a normal ass person who just wants to play the game for fun to now abusing that thing over and over against you, against anybody. And it's like, you went from having fun moments to now they're just cheesing and bullshitting all the time, to the point where you pretty much have to like go to them like, hey, can you just not do that this time? Can we have like a normal session without you doing the thing? And like, oh, okay, sure, fine. And they just have an attitude about it, like you took away their toys. It's like, were you that obsessed with doing the cheese? Did you need it that bad? Why? Why do people get like that? You know, it's like, bro, and all it takes is for them to just know about the bullshit, and they just can't help but abuse the bullshit. It's like, man, can you put that shit away? You don't need to do that. You know you don't need to do that. I know you don't need to do that. Why are you doing that? Stop. I wouldn't call it American bullies, because a lot of the people who play video games like that, in that nature, like not even in a competitive way, but more like I found out some broken cheese where I can one-shot everybody and stuff like that. Like, people who abuse shit like this, they're not good at the game. They don't care to get better. They just want to see themselves win. And the thing is, before the worst part, that's why I don't consider them bullies in any way, because it feels like, one, it's just an addiction to winning in a video game where they're probably not used to winning. But more importantly, I think it's also, you got to consider things that like they weren't like this before they learned that they could bullshit. Like, that's another factor. A lot of people can say, I've gotten a lot of people, like, I've questioned a lot of people who play in a very cheesy, abusive, game-breaking way on video games. I've asked them things like, why do you play like this? What caused you to play this? What did you do before you found out all these broken glitches? And usually the answers revolve around something like, oh, well, I didn't always play like this, but, you know, I actually used to do more cool stuff and chase combo, right? And their main reason would be like, at some point I just stopped having fun, so I just didn't care anymore. But winning, it was still nice to see people, to win and see people rage quit. And it's like, they come up with all these reasons as to why they should keep doing the thing instead of just stopping and going back to, you know, regular gameplay. And like, they have 1,000,001 excuses and reasons. It's just, and like, none of them are concrete. No, they don't mean any of that shit. A lot of people really don't care about making people rage quit and pissing people off. They don't care about the reactions to their cheese. It's just that they can't stop now. It's an addiction to just easy wins, because a lot of people question if they're even really that good at the game. Everybody has imposter syndrome to a degree, especially when you get a lot of your wins from bullshit. At some point, it's hard to go back to not using bullshit, because at that point, it's like all the people you shit talked over the years while cheesing and bullshitting. What if they were right? What if when they said you're dog shit after you beat them using some bullshit, what if they're right? And it's like, they get trapped in this logic of, well, if I keep using the bullshit, I'll never have to prove that I'm actually good at the game or actually know what I'm doing. And to a degree, they're right. If they never stop, no one can ever prove or disprove if they're even good at the game or not. Who knows? All we've ever seen them do is bullshit. You know, it's like, it's easy to stay in that bubble when they just don't want to get exposed. Or they don't want to learn the truth about themselves. Because what if they are dog shit at the game and have no capacity to get better at it? You know, but they don't want to stop playing the game. Find it funny when they realize they're about to lose and they don't want to play the game anymore. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a common one, but you know, more recently that's evolved into especially in a more online format, that's evolved into the rage quit formula. And if Discord's involved, after like post rage quit Discord conversations involved, they just have a bunch of excuses. I was busy, or you were doing this, or it was laggy, or yada yada yada. It's like, brother man, I beat your cheese. I got through all your layers of nonsense with pure skill in real time, and you just ejected out of the game. And during the post-game conversation, you have 1,000,001 excuses, but none of it involves you. None of it is you looking at yourself and wondering, how did I lose when I had all this bullshit working towards in my favor? Why not ask that question? Why not? Why not? Well, the reason is simple. That's too much weight on their shoulders. It's too much weight. Boo doo 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 boo doo doo. But yeah, that's exactly why I gatekeep broken ass tech and stuff in video games. Unless that game is dead. If that multiplayer game is now a dead game and I just happen to be discussing that game with somebody who used to play it as well, then I'll talk about it. Because who cares? At that point, it's not really forbidden knowledge anymore. It's just useless knowledge for a game that no one's ever going to play again. And it really doesn't matter. Let me put on an aura. Let me put on something. Let's put this on. Actually, no. I changed my mind. Take that one off. This is that new mod that I said I was playing around with. This is a new mod that I don't think it's a new mod, but like I'm exploring this mod for the first time. Basically what this mod is, it is a gambling mod. Crazy, I know, but it also has cases, so you can get points by gambling or waging, and you get points and you open cases and you get like cool little cosmetics that come with the mod and that aren't normally in the game. Crazy, right? Like stuff like that. And my landing, that's not like, this landing is not that right there. Bam, that's a cosmetic addition of this mod. It's really cool. This is a really cool way to implement some form of gambling. Let's go gambling. Woo. Let me see. The multiplayer mode, it's literally just a multiplayer. Okay, so to give you the idea, so basically, like let's say people were to join this specific map, it creates an instance where other people can join this map, right? So even though it's a mod, this is a modded map, but the multiplayer integrates all the mods and everything, yada yada yada. So people can join, and if there was someone here, I can go find them. Like let me see about finding other people. Let's see it go. There's not many people on right now, but let's go to hideout. See, this person's AFK. They probably paused the game because this is a single player game normally, so like they probably paused the game, which is why they're floating in the air. There's a person right there, as you can see. He has crazy momentum. Oh, he has low gravity on, so he's doing some low gravity shenanigans. Anyway, yeah, you can see these are NPCs. That's not real. But yeah, names right there. But yeah, so it's a really good, normally, look, if there was more people playing this game, this shit would be lit. This mod, like the multiplayer mods and stuff, would be so lit. But fortunately, it is what it is. Hey, but on the bright side, this game has a sequel coming out, and that game's gonna be naturally co-op. So that's something I look for. Oh, there's a person here. I look forward to playing that game with subscribers and shit. Like actually, it is a hope of mine that people get you know, they see it and they go, well, I want to play that game, and I'm like, oh, it's co-op. Because there's a lot of my favorite games are not co-op. So like even when someone shows interest and they're like for example, there's a lot of people who actually have admitted that they would love to play Crimson Desert with me, but that's a single player game, and even though I love that game a lot, 350 hours. About 350 hours in that game. There's no multiplayer mod, and even if there was, it probably would be dog shit, and a lot of people play on console and shit, so like, you know, there's no chance of that. That'd be pretty cool to play that game with multiple people. But I'm just gonna type some random shit. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, so sorry, I got distracted. Speaking of distracted, I'm gonna deploy a grand distraction real quick. Hold on, wait for it. Let's just go here so I can change my character quickly. But no, wrong one. But yeah, my brain stopped working. My brain stopped working. Hold on. It's too much happening in my head right now. What was I saying? Oh right, multiplayer games. There's just some games I have on the horizon I'm gonna be playing on my channel in the future, assuming, you know, shit doesn't go horrendous. You know, the future is bright enough for me to at least be streaming and playing video games. But that will have co-op functionality, and I do hope that I can convince people to get those games and play them with me, because it would be lit to play games with other people that isn't. And I know, like, one could say, well, why don't you just play Roblox or something? Everyone has Roblox, and yeah. I don't want to play Roblox with grown viewers. No, like, y'all are like a lot of y'all are 18, like 17, 20, something like that. I'm 25, and I don't even want to play Roblox, bro. I don't think y'all really want to play Roblox, and even if you do, probably not really. Not as much as you really think you do. Like, I just don't agree that people would want to sit and play Roblox with me, especially because I also don't want to just play Roblox with a bunch of children either. That's another thing I'm not gonna do. That's not gonna be a thing you see from my content. Guarantee it. I stand by it. I will not be playing video games with children unless they just happen to play the games that I decide to play that I personally like. And maybe, sure, that's fine, but I'm not gonna hop on Roblox and play fucking Roblox with child viewers. No, thank you. That's weird. I'm not a weirdo. I don't. It makes me feel icky. Yuck. No. Some Roblox games are actually peak. I'm not scared of horror games, so they're just boring walking simulators to me. You know, if there's someone in the world, you know what I always hate? I'm just being honest. I'm not scared of scary games, but there's so many people who just would never believe me. They never believe me when I say that, and the thing is, I'm probably never gonna try to prove it to people. I don't care. I don't care to prove that horror games aren't scary to me. They haven't been scary to me since I was fucking 13 years old at most. And even then, they were barely scary then. So it's like, it's just a matter of I don't fucking care to touch them. So yeah, anyway. Back to what I was saying though. Yeah, I just don't want to play Roblox with a bunch of children, just because that's a chance for people to play with me. You know, because it's like, it's not really, nah. And not to mention, I don't think people would love to see a bunch of kids show up to the stream exclusively begging to play Roblox with me. Like, imagine I'm playing Crimson Desert or a RPG like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I plan on playing next after I beat Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and then a bunch of kids pull up and like, hey Bevan, can you hop on? You want to play? Can we play Roblox? Hey, let's play this game together. And it's like, it's a bunch of like little kids just flooding the chat, begging me to play video games, Roblox with them. I don't think anybody would really appreciate that. I know I wouldn't. I know I damn sure would hate that shit. I would hate that with a passion. No. Like, cause one thing about kids is that at least with most kids, they don't really have a off switch or a social. They don't really have a sense of social understanding. Like, if you show up to a stream, for example, and someone's playing a game that's not Roblox, and you start begging them to play a game, and then you try to include yourself in that, and you want to play that with me, not only are you just like disrupting what they're already doing or attempting to without realizing that, without directly realizing that's exactly what you're doing, but you're also trying to force yourself into it as well. Like, who said I wanted to do anything with you? The fuck? Kids have that bad habit of just thinking that they could beg for anything, because that's what kids do, right? But when it comes to streams, I've had this happen a few times where it's just like, kids really think they could beg you for anything, and I hate that. I don't like it. It's annoying as fuck, because like, I said no. I don't want to play that, or I'm doing something else right now, and I have been doing it for the past 2 hours. And like, you say begging over and over is like, I don't know, like that sort of common sense doesn't really apply to kids, you know, because they're kids. They haven't really got there yet. Another reason I'm very much not scared of scary games is because I've indulged in so much media, whether it be reading, movies, shows. I've watched so much scary shit in my life, and like books. I had so many nightmares as a kid, as a child, that it just stopped being a nightmare. Things stopped being scary to me, because when you experience so much fear, you know, from media and scary movies and paranormal movies and stuff, like, from a young age, at some point you just become immune to this shit. Like, how could I be scared of the demon that's gonna possess me and terrorize my family and take my soul to hell? When I've been scared of that for like the last 5 years of my life. Like, it's no longer a thing I can be fearful of, because it's been stuck on my mind for so long that I've had enough time to normalize it and rationalize that, hey, this is kind of just some dumb shit from a shitty movie that wasn't very interesting to begin with, or like a video game that, like, it makes it very easy for me to just see it from a rational standpoint, because no longer am I just like indulging in the fearfulness by choice. Now I'm seeing it for what it really is. In the case of a video game, it is a character is a scary, quote unquote scary, spooky character that somebody made in Blender or whatever the fucking 3D rendering program. Or if it's 2D, then they, you know, made it that way, right? And they made a fucking environment, they made a bunch of mechanics, and you walk around and you collect things, and you try not to get caught by the scary creature. Oh no. When you put it in that context, it's not scary. Get the fuck off me. It's not scary anymore. It's literally impossible for it to be scary. Oh, that guy's stuck. He doesn't realize it. Anyway, yeah, it's impossible for it to be scary anymore, because how could I give a fuck? Like, really let that sink in. How could I give a fuck when I understand what it is, just a bunch of pixels on a fucking screen? Some shit that somebody else made in their room or in an office or something, and then it was the final product is that thing. Like, there's nothing to be scared of. It is a fucking... if someone can sit there and make it on a computer screen, how is it a scary thing when it's just something... Like, when you imagine it from that perspective, nothing's fucking scary at that point. Like, at all. And you can't convince me that anything's scary at that point, because it's not. It just isn't. It just isn't. There's no fear to be had. If anything, analog horror is probably more scary because it takes advantage of real life. For example, an example of analog horror would be a broadcast, a fake broadcast, of course, that is simulating the idea of what would happen if there was nuclear fallout and your area is targeted. You're dead, there's nothing you can do. All you can do is experience the pure dread of the fact that you're about to get nuked and die. You're fucked. There's no way out of this. And you have the, you know, those sirens. I don't know, I forget what the sirens sound like, but you know what I mean. Like, that's more scary to me than any sort of fictional horror bullshit, because I'm the type of person I would imagine myself fighting back. Like, I'd rather die than run from some scary entity. Like, what's the fucking point, you know? But some real life shit, real life circumstances, it's a lot scarier. Because those are things I can imagine myself in being in, and it's actually there's nothing I can do about that. The fuck am I gonna do? Get to a fallout bunker? Where? Where? The last time I checked, the announcement said I got 3 minutes. This is not a video game. This is I'm cooked. And everything is over now. You know what I mean? Have I ever seen anything paranormal IRL? No. I haven't. And there's plenty of people who say they have, and you know what, their life experience is theirs, but I don't consider those weird sounds or those creaks in the wall or anything, or that annoying, like those random things, paranormal. You know why? I come to learn one simple fact that disarmed all of that shit. It's gonna blow your mind. Check this out. Check this out. So basically, what a lot of that comes down to is this. The house you live in is really fucking old. Older than you, probably. So the reality is, that house creaks. Random pieces of things in the house make weird noises at erratic, random times. And you just so happen to have your ears tuned for random noises because you were spooked out already because you had watched something or played something that scared you. Or you were just a child and overthought everything, like children do. So basically, you're literally living in a house that's older than you, and it's making noises that are representative of a house that's older than you. And once you recognize and connect with that fact, you will never be scared by that random creak in the hallway at 2:34 a.m. when you should be asleep anyway. Listen, you made that shit up. That's something inside the walls squeaking. And it's not a ghost. Shut that shit up. Siren Head is your worst nightmare? Really? You really think Siren Head is scary? That's surprising to me. That's one of the, I mean, I guess I can also connect me not being scared of too many things outside of analog horror stuff that kind of makes me feel like, you know, those are more realistic situations that are actually just kind of, well, we're fucked, GG. But other than that, like, scary things don't scare me any as well. Another factor would be my desire to learn causes me to learn why the things that scare me exist in the first place. Like random creaks in the wall. I learned as a kid at some point, it's literally just the house being creaky, old, and annoying. Like when you walk on that one floor tile in your hallway that just makes a bunch of noise every single time you put foot, like even the slightest bit of foot pressure on it. That, or when you're going upstairs and it makes a noise, or when you're going to the kitchen and like several tiles are they just almost crack even though they don't break. But yeah, it's like when you really think about it, like at that point it's like, yes, it's starting to make sense now. The house I live in is shitty. Oh, shitty and unmaintained because I don't have a wealthy family that can hire people to fix their shit up every week. See, that's some wealthy people shit, and I'm not wealthy. Go figure, right? Crazy how that works. It's not, the thing is, it's not about bravery in this case, by the way. It's no longer bravery. At some point, it could literally just be a matter of understanding things. A lot of the things you fear are things you don't understand. Like when you really think about that, it makes it so much easier to overcome those things. And then like once you understand the fact that fear is just not knowing. Like, you could be scared of the future because you don't know if you're gonna even be able to sustain a fucking livable wage and have your own home. And what happens when shit that hits the fan? What happens when bills are due? That's fear. That makes you feel fearful of the future because you can't know the future. And shit's getting shaky. Shit's getting weird. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's scary. You know, it's not scary. A fictional character that somebody made up and made in Blender, and it's just like a bunch of random pieces of furniture strung together by. It's like it basically just someone made it while they were high, and uploaded it to the internet, and someone else made a creepypasta out of that random image that someone uploaded to the internet. Like, that's kind of just how a lot of these things come into existence. And when you kind of connect with that thought, it's like, how could I be scared of something that was made by someone's irrational high thought that just happened to make it onto the internet? Huh. Yeah, it's a bit silly. But then there's another hidden layer to it. You also got to consider, do you want to be scared in the first place? Because if you do, if there's a lot of people who get enjoyment out of the fear. Like, there's also like another factor to it where it's like, do you want to be scared? Because if you do, you're going to be scared. You're going to deny yourself that opportunity to just understand the thing, whatever the thing is. Like, that's kind of just how it is. If you want to be scared, you will be scared. And that's just how it is. If you allow yourself to just never understand so you can be spooked out, you will be spooked out. Like, for example, here's a prime example of this being a real like you can exercise this in real time. If you have a fear of walking in the hallway at the pitch black hallway, okay, let's say you know the hallway layout. You're going out of your room, you're leaving your room at like 3 a.m. It's pitch black. You know, you just gotta head to the restroom, and you're tempted to turn on the lights because you don't want to walk in the darkness. Not because you don't know the hallway. You've walked these hallways hundreds of times. You know exactly where to go. You can do this shit blind, which you are blind because it's dark. You know where the restroom is though. You know how many steps it would take to get there, right? But the darkness scares you. And then at that moment, you have to pause and think to yourself. I used to do this as a kid. Am I really scared of a pitch black hallway I've walked down millions of times during the day and a few times during the night anyway? No, I'm not. I don't care. There's nothing that's gonna jump out and get me. Otherwise, they would have already got me. If there's anything in this hallway, in this pitch black, me turning on the lights would just reveal it easier. And then with that thought, I'm just like, okay, as a kid, I just walk down the hallway anyway, go to the restroom, go back to my room, and no longer do the whole spooky, scary run because I'm scared of the dark. Nah. It's whatever. Sure, I might still feel like at that moment I might still have goosebumps, but like that's just me shaking the fear off because I realize it's stupid. It was dumb. The fuck am I scared of the dark in my own house? I live here. And if there was something here, I would have gotten got already. It would have got me. I'm literally staring into the darkness with my door open. If there was some entity in the darkness, it would have already had my ass the moment I opened the door, right? So what the fuck am I scared of? Exactly, I'm not. I'm about to walk through this hallway with confidence, go take a piss, and go back to bed because I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired. Like, what the fuck? Simple as that. Problem solved. When you or you can, you know, decide to be scared and let the fear take over and then you just don't go use the restroom, go lay back in the bed knowing full well you got a full bladder and you gotta piss. And you're just gonna hold it until 6 a.m. when there's light out. Then you can, yeah, you know, it's like, I've done that too as a kid. I've done both. But at some point, I didn't want to hold my piss in because I was too scared of the fucking dark hallway. Like, the shit was dumb. I hate the way that felt. I want to go use the restroom. And then I want to go to bed. Like, I hate it. I hate that. It's not about brain power at that point. Because, while yes, understanding is a big part of things. Absolutely. And like learning to break shit down is a part of things. And the better you break stuff down, the easier it is for you to yada yada yada. You don't even really have to do all that. Like, for example, there's a lot of dumb people who are very, very brave, and the reason is they just realize they don't care about fear. Or fear, for example, makes them angry. You can channel fear in different ways. It's about how you control your mind. It's not about how smart you are. Well, you do, yeah, you do. You need a brain to study, but like you have to realize, like you control your mind. Like you control how much something bothers you. For example, here's an adult example. Instead of just something goofy like a pitch black hallway, let's talk about something real. You gotta go sign some documents. These documents cement another year of potential problems for the rest of your life that you might not solve. I'm not gonna name anything because if you're of a certain age, you probably have something that just came to mind and it fucking wigs you out every time you think about it. You need to do them so you can have immediate solutions. But you know damn well you might. What? What? Game broke. What? The fuck is that? Okay, some mod just cracked. Anyway, back to what I was saying though. Like, I'm sure if you're old enough, you probably know exactly what that's connecting to. And if you're young enough, I'm not gonna put that dread in your soul if you haven't experienced that yet. Anybody's listening. Like, if you don't know, then good. Just stay in the not knowing because trust me, it's not fun. It's not fun once you understand exactly what I'm talking about, or something relative to what I'm talking about. Like obviously that can be a lot of different things, but you know. Anyway, that's dreadful because these are decisions that effectively hurt you, but help you, but hurt you as well, and it also hurts to think about because they suck. You're only in this situation because you weren't born of a wealthy family and you don't have some kind of like instant solution to these problems. You have to take the long way around. You got to take the granted path, and these granted paths are dangerous, and they leave a lot of people with horror stories that they proceed to tell on also all over the place. You know, like grown ass people with lives that you thought would be better than yours because, you know, they've lived longer, but nope, they're riddled with so many problems and debts because they're going through the exact same thing you're apprehensive about even starting. And it's like, do I want to be like them? Can I overcome the situation better than they can? Am I sure I want to take on these debts and problems? Is there really a way for me to overcome this, or will I be like everybody else who is swamped in problems that that they took on thinking that they would have a better life for it, when in fact they did not have a better life. Spooky thoughts. Spooky thoughts, man. Alright, enjoy your dinner. And have a good one. Appreciate you for tuning in. I'm glad I was able to give you a little thoughts, thought-provoking things and whatnot. I do appreciate getting a chance to provide knowledge. I forgot that that's a thing I can do now. I can get hit by cars. Hey, Brady, pull me over. Don't ever explode. Oh god. I'll try not to explode, but yeah, enjoy your dinner and rest. Have a good one, Yumi. Oh wait, no, actually, let's do that.
Easy breezy.
Bye. Oh, okay. That caught me off guard. That should have let me run on the truck actually, but I guess it's a dangerous entity now. Can I jump on the top of the truck? I should be able to though, right? Let me see. I need a vehicle. Let me jump on you. Okay, I can still jump on the vehicles. Okay. Bam, bam, bam.
Let's go. Nice. Yes. Smooth. Easy breezy. Let's go. Easy breezy. Let's go. Easy breezy.
I remember, man, this area is this. I remember when I first started playing this game, and like this specific part of the map, like right here, like this area, this whole thing was really hard for me to learn how to skate or trick around, and it just threw me off like really badly because it was like, man, I keep losing my momentum. I didn't realize I should be manually down the hill to get some momentum back. And then there's also like these stairs. Basically, if you're riding, if you're on your whatchamacallit, whatever, if you got skates, BMX, skateboard, doesn't matter. You go on these stairs, it automatically dismounts you, right? That kept throwing me off because I didn't properly manual. Like I didn't know I can manual downstairs and stuff. So like at one point, like when I was first playing this game, it just kept throwing me off. Like looking back on how much I improved on it at this game, it does remind me that there are people who probably will never be as good at this game as good as this game, as good as I am at this game. Like I do, like a lot of the stuff I do is just like extremely seamless and just, and not to mention I have a lot of extra extra abilities and things added by the mod. You'd think mods would make this game easier. In my case, I don't make the game easier with mods. I have a lot of additional abilities and things that I have to keep track of, and you know, all like it. For me, if anything, I'd say the mods, everything I have for my mods make the game a lot more interactive and harder, but that's that smoothness that I've learned, that smoothness of gameplay that I've learned how to, like all these things are just naturally occurring to me. Like it's not even, I'm not overthinking this, I'm just reacting. There we go. Like this, like it's so normal for me to do what I'm doing right now. But when I first started playing this game, it was annoyingly hard. Not like hard because the game's hard in itself, but it's like getting this flow down. Like there is a unique flow to all of this. Like this is easily one of the, it's just the first area you pretty much come to when you first start the game, and so you eventually end up here, and it's just really easy to just never get the flow down, to just never figure out how do I flow while also dealing with these stairs, because a lot of people, they get screwed over by those stairs. They, like, especially me, I remember I would try to do some tricks, try to start something, and I would keep running into these stairs right here, and it would just take me off my my whatchamacallit. But then I learned how to use the air to my advantage, like how to actually, like for example, I want to get those stairs right now, like that. You boost up the stairs. Now if you're going down, you don't have to do that. You just kind of, yeah. But like, if I want to go up the stairs, I either take this rail or take alternate paths, or I boost up the stairs, which was the idea. You just go boost it. But yeah. How do I get to the other part again? The area in the back, I think it's through here, yeah. I'm trying to get on top of the truck. Hey, back to back. Hey, back to back. I forget where I'm supposed to go. There's like a hidden entrance or something to get to the Flesh Prince. Was it? That. Let's see. Was it back here? No, that's where the collectible was. I haven't been in this area in a long time. This specific area. Unless it was, I'm not tripping. There was a basketball court and everything. Cause yeah, you go up there. There's the whole whatchamacallit. There's a way. Okay, I think I remember now. I know what to do. Hold on. I need to do a line real quick. How do I get up there again? I think there was like a wire I could ride. I forget where it is. Oh, I mean, I can always just circumvent that and actually, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just do it my way. I'm trying to remember the exact correct way you're supposed to get up there, because there is a way. There is a way you're supposed to get up there and do all the things, like a normal vanilla game way. But I'm gonna just game it out, because I'm a gamer. I'm trying to use this dumpster to my advantage, but whatever. Yeah, there's the wire. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, you use this. The cops come out of that, but you get on top of this, and you that makes it easier to do it. This one way. I fucked that up. Messed up my bounce timing. There's this too. I guess I can do it like this. What? Was there like something I could do from the top? Am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. Let me set something real quick. I'm gonna put an aura on real quick. No, not that one. I don't really want to use the electrify aura. Hold on. Which one was the rain? Rain. That's the one I want to use. Yeah, baby, the funk phenomenon. You know, I just realized. Do I have shuffle on? I do have shuffle on. That is a surprising amount of cyberfunk music that's actually playing. I was thinking about like listening to the song, I'm vibing, but then I was like, wait a minute. I don't have shuffle play on. Or did I thought I muted the music in the game. Oh, that's just crazy luck right there. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Where's the rain? Is rain not in here? No, I had falling star. You know what? Let's do falling stars. Yeah, just cause I can. Baby. Well, let's gamble a little bit. Let's hit a quick 10. Hit a quick 10 pull. Okay, I got 2 epic, 2 legendary, 3 legendary, 4 legendaries, 3 epics. Any dupes? I'm not worried about Slash. I don't like Slash at all, actually. Magic Circle 2. Oh, okay, so these legendaries were completely wasted. Got it, thanks. Ugh. Red Portal? I don't even know. I don't know if I care about those. In the slightest. But let's see what I actually kept. That's why red portal is new. It just whatever. Star aura and legendary fire. Okay, okay. I do want to see the red portal first. Let me take this off. So let's see, where is it? Red portal. I want to see what that looks like during grace. Oh my gosh, never mind. I don't care about that one then. Let's see, where is it? Does this go away if I? Why does it still say new? I shouldn't say new because it's not new, but whatever. Fire. That's a bit over the top, don't you think? Huh. I don't hate it. And then was the other one. Where's the star aura? Okay, this is gas. That's gas. I like that. That's that's a good one. You know what? Let's do some blackjack. Let's gamble for 500 rep, I guess. Oops. Accidentally closed out. 600. 600, yep. Play some blackjack. Let's see. Hit. Ooh, I'm gonna stand on that. Bullshit. Run it back. I gotta get my money back. Hit me. Damn. Okay, well, one more time. Right? Wow. Just really just barely tipping the line there, huh? All right, so much. Well, there's my money. There's my bread gone. All right, GG. I'll get more later. All right, you can't stop me from rising. I'm gonna get more. Oh, I remember how I'm supposed to. I remember how I'm supposed to get up there now. I remember. You got to get on this. Yeah. I completely forgot about this. Like, this mechanic is not used outside of getting to this one hyper-specific area you only need to go to once. Why is this moon gravity back? Why does that happen? I don't know why that happens. Anyway, doesn't matter. Wait, what? Did I go the wrong way? I could have sworn you go through here and then I feel like there's like a. Where does this moon gravity come from? It always happens when I do a boost trick. It's not supposed to be like that. I don't know why. I have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to like look at one of the mods and see what's causing the moon gravity to trigger. It's something to do with my boost, I think. Because every time I boost, something happens there. Anyway, that's besides the point. Where do you get to the Flesh Prince from? I'm pretty sure he was behind something. Either that or it's just not here. I might be misremembering exactly where. Not the biggest fan of the moon gravity though. Especially because I don't want this. I didn't put this on by choice. It's just some weird bug that happens with the physics. Because of one of the mods that I have that should actually do the opposite of moon gravity. Actually. Oh, I remember. I think? No. Okay. Was it Millennium Square? Let's go to the police station. It's like an expanded police station, if I remember correctly. That I have. Yeah, because this is the one. It's a pretty cool place to be. Does that fix my moon gravity? It didn't. Why? I don't like that. How do I fix it? Because sometimes it goes away by itself. Also, my aura went away. My actual stuff. What? My star aura. Why did it go away? The fuck was that? Is it like, is it something to do with this? No, it can't, like, there's no way. It's like every time I'm like turning on my auras or taking stuff off, putting stuff on, something happens. Maybe it's that, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, enough of that. Custom stages. I want to find a police station. Oh, where? PPP. Party terminal. Police station bureau expanded. There we go. That's the one. Oh, I was wondering how I get inside. Oh, you guys shit out. Yeah, fuck you guys. I'll beat all your asses. I should put the cops. I should actually re-enable the Ossifers. Oh, they really expanded this shit. Oh, they gave me a whole street to go down and everything. And the backside. Nice. Oh, this is sick. I say gave me, but like they made all this. Oh, that's cool. What's in here? Oh, this leads to the cafeteria interior. It's cool. I'm gonna restart the game anyway. The moon gravity for the skateboard in the BMX won't go away. It's weird because I don't get that gravity with the inlines with my skates. Like they don't have that, but these have like super gravity also. Like what is that? Why? Oh no, let's find out how far this goes. It seems like they kind of gave up. Whoever made this mod, they kind of gave up around this area. They're just like, yeah, we're good on that. Whatever works, I guess. Boom, Sonic boom, Sonic boom. Really not too much to do trick-wise. I mean, I'm assuming they just took the like the actual raw map itself and dragged and dropped it for the most part. Which, that makes sense. Except it seems like they might have added some things like this, and then like added like spray paint points. See, oh, that's even bugging out too. That shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, what the fuck? Why is it doing that? Interesting. Uh-huh. Okay. I think that Okay, the moon gravity's gone. Okay, I found out how to fix it. So oh, it's back. It's back. Okay, what? Okay, at least it's gone for the BMX. Oh, no. It was gone, but now it's back. What the fuck? It goes away. And then it immediately comes back. What the fuck is, like, what is this bug? This is weird. This is weird. This is weird, man. I don't understand it. I can't imagine which physics I have going on that keeps bugging out. I mean, I'll just turn. I think there's just certain sliders I have on that gave me custom gravity, like custom gravity alternations. Maybe those are breaking, and I just gotta set them. I don't know. Planet from disaster. Okay, that's besides the point. Let me actually, before I leave, let me explore this place a little bit. Little bit. I also do want to turn the police back on as well, so I can get into some tussles with them real quick. You know, fun to beat their ass a little bit. There's all the way. There's this all the way over here. Whoa. Whoa, they added some extra shit. This is cool. Boo doo 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 doo. Boo doo 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 doo. That's cool. What else did they add? Now I'm mad curious. I gotta know. They just opened up all these doors. These doors aren't even normally open when you have to in the prologue of the game. It's dope. Yo, shout out to whoever made this mod or this mod map, like this specific one. Like they did a surprisingly good job. Fantastic, I tell you, fantastic. They even fixed this part just to make it feel more like, you know. Oh my gosh, they added extra stuff. Whoa. I mean, you can't. It's not really like. I mean, I'm just surprised they did all this. It's a bit buggy. I mean, it's like, oh, random holes in the floor, but you know, the fact that they even bothered to do that, to be like all this. This is not part of the regular whatchamacallit, I don't think. They really did expand this motherfucker. They made this feel like a fucking police station. Like a full-on police station and everything. Holy shit. They really went out of their way to do something goofy like this. That's so cool. That's so cool. Once again, another thing they didn't have to do, but they did. I like that. I like this. Oh, what you got over here? Can I talk to him? Holy shit, you can talk to him? Whoa. They made this guy. He's a dude in the story, but you can talk to I forget his name, but you can talk to him? That's crazy. Pretty sure you come through that vent there. They just basically fixed up everything that whoa, hole in the wall. Okay. Yeah, I don't think okay, yeah, sure. Anyway, that's so cool. This is so cool. Like, this is actually a badass map, bro. Like, this is super nice. This is super nice, bro. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours? So, honestly, I think what I'm gonna do, I think I might wrap it up here. You know, this is some Cyberfunk and chill. I think I had some Cyberfunk and chill. Some sufficient Cyberfunk and chill. I gotta figure out what gives me moon gravity, what mod is breaking and every now and then and giving me moon gravity, so they even have a BMX area to yo, the amount of thoughtful effort that they put into the mod maker when they made this map, they have And all the shit's right here. You can swap all to everything in case you don't have a auto swapper. That's really good.
Easy.
I didn't mean to do that actually. But yeah, I'm getting distracted. This is a really good mod map. Like this is actually really cool. I didn't expect that from this. I was thinking it's gonna be light, some simple. Nah, this is dope. This is dope as fuck. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the fucking Cyberfunk and chill. I might do this again. A little some, a little something light. Wasn't meant to be nothing crazy. I'm not trying to fulfill my normal stream time quota. Just wanted to do a little something different, but also something familiar to me personally. A proper revisit to this game on my channel with the far greater technology and understanding of everything that I do compared to 2 years ago. That was a fucking disaster. But now I can just I have words, things. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Like, subscribe, everything, all that sort of good stuff. Tell your mother about me. I'm sure she'd love me. And goodbye.